If you spend enough time managing servers or writing code on a Mac, you will eventually try to install a standard Unix library, only to watch your terminal immediately crash in a cascade of fatal C compiler errors. This happens because compiling open-source software natively on macOS without a strict boundary risks overwriting or shadowing the native binaries Apple relies on, causing system-wide corruption. The solution to these binary conflicts is a package manager designed around a sandboxed architecture, which physically isolates third-party code from the rest of the operating system. But before any sandbox can actually be built, the host operating system has to have a working C compiler toolchain installed. Apple bundles the essential development headers and make utilities inside their Xcode integrated development environment. You don't need to install the massive full-scale IDE just to get a package manager running. System administrators only need to install the targeted command line developer tools. This targeted installation provides the necessary Clang compiler. MacPorts commits heavily to backward compatibility, maintaining build instructions for deprecated toolchains back to macOS X Tiger on legacy PowerPC hardware. To achieve stability across a wide spectrum of hardware, MacPorts relies on a strict architectural split. The entire ecosystem is divided into two distinct halves: the underlying dependency resolution engine and the massive directory of raw software definitions. Managing thousands of interlinked software dependencies across different generations of an operating system requires physically isolating the execution logic from the metadata itself. This diagram illustrates that split, starting with the primary foundational layer, the MacPorts base engine, known internally as MacPorts base. This engine houses the core C binaries, the dependency mapping algorithms, and a highly isolated TCL programming language interpreter. On its own, this base engine is completely agnostic. It has absolutely no knowledge of specific software packages until it is explicitly routed to a source of definitions. That connection happens through a file called Sources.conf, which acts as the system's central routing multiplexer. The internal syntax of this file uses uniform resource identifiers, formatted strictly according to extended Backus-Naur form grammar rules. When the engine reads this file, it evaluates those URIs in a strict top-down sequential order to determine where to look first. System administrators can leverage this top-down precedence to construct custom, private, local repositories and place them at the very top of the list. This deterministic routing lets developers test experimental software overlays on their local disk without risking the integrity of the official global ecosystem. For standard installations, the primary, canonical source of truth for the system is the official MacPorts Ports repository. While older systems used daily snapshots, modern development relies on utilizing a direct Git clone over HTTPS. This Git tree contains thousands of declarative TCL scripts, known as Portfiles, which are organized hierarchically by software domains like text processing or system utilities. But there is a systemic limitation. The C binaries in the base engine cannot instantly query raw text scripts. They must be parsed first. Administrators trigger an initialization phase by running a sync command, forcing the engine to physically crawl through the entire Get directory tree. The engine extracts critical metadata from every script, pulling out software names, version numbers, checksums, and dependencies. This parsed data is loaded into a localized SQLite database, generating directed acyclic graphs to map the exact sequence of required build libraries. Replacing raw TCL parsing with an indexed SQLite registry enables the engine to navigate massive dependency trees. This speed and precision is something raw scripts simply cannot achieve. Once the dependencies are mapped, the actual compilation phase begins, mediated entirely by a highly sophisticated abstraction layer known as the mport API. This API orchestrates a deeply isolated execution sequence inside a TCL sub-interpreter, ensuring that variables from one port file never leak into another. The engine fetches the source code, validates the checksums, extracts the archive, applies macOS-specific patches, configures the build system, and compiles the code. The most crucial moment happens immediately after, during a phase called dstroot. In this step, MacPorts explicitly instructs the C compiler not to install the compiled payloads directly into the live file system. Instead, the binaries are safely placed into an isolated, temporary directory hierarchy. The engine packages the contents of this sandbox into a tarball receipt. Only when that process is verified as successful does the system securely hard-link the files to the active system prefix. Because of this design, the dstroot sandbox serves as the ultimate failsafe. It guarantees that a failed compiler execution or a partial installation can never pollute the host operating system. Local compilation safeguards are important, but they rely entirely on the security of the broader software supply chain. MacPorts enforces data integrity right at the source by requiring mathematical checksums, specifically SHA-256 and RMD-160 hashes, to be statically defined inside every single port file. For corporate environments, distributing proprietary internal tools via custom repositories, the security requirements go even further. Administrators generate asymmetric OpenSSL key pairs and append the public keys to a dedicated pubkeys.conf file, neutralizing man-in-the-middle attacks by refusing to extract unsigned archives. When volunteer developers want to merge their own localized fixes back into the global upstream repository, they enter a strictly formalized socio-technical workflow. Before code is ever committed, developers must run the primary gatekeeping utility, a static analysis tool called Portland, specifically using the nitpick flag. This linter rigorously checks the script, validating its encoding, confirming mandatory properties, and verifying every dependency exists in the SQLite registry. Once passed, developers follow rigid git commit conventions, keeping subject lines under 50 characters so automated parsers can track releases. After the developer opens a pull request, they face the final automated hurdle: the GitHub Actions continuous integration build box. These build bots dynamically provision rootless execution environments, testing the new patch across an array of different macOS versions and both Intel and Apple Silicon CPU architectures. MacPorts functions as a Hermetic execution ecosystem. Its software definitions are governed by declarative configuration and guarded by rigorous cryptographic gates.